day. I did not go around taking advantage of the church, taking advantage of the poor, not even taking advantage of the rich. He said, but I worked, travailed night and day, that we might not be chargeable to any of you. He said, not because we have not power. He has the authority and he has the right. He said, but to make ourselves an example unto you to follow us. Paul was an example of what a true pastor or a true man of God was. He made himself an example. The people today are not making themselves an example of what God would have them to be. Paul goes on to say in another scripture, looking in the book of 2 Corinthians 12. And we're going to start reading at verse 14. 12 and 14. This is Paul, the great apostle Paul, who got revelation from God, and who wrote at least 13 books of the epistles of the Bible, and who Peter said that what Paul wrote was scripture. And this man says here in 2 Corinthians 12 and 14, he says, behold, the third time I am ready to come to you, and will not be burdensome to you. For I seek not yours, but you. For the children ought not lay up for the parents, but the parents for the children. Look how Paul saw himself, that he was the parent, and that he should be helping the children, and not the children helping him. We as parents should not expect our children to lay up money for us and support us, but we should be supporting them. And this is how Paul saw it. He saw the church as his children, and not that they should be supporting him, but he should be supporting them. But the people today have got it twisted as to where they think that they should be living a luxurious lifestyle, and that the gospel is a livelihood, it's a job for them, as opposed to a burden and a love for souls. And so Paul makes it very clear here, and he says, I seek not yours, but preachers today are seeking yours. He said, but I seek not yours. He said, but you. Preachers should be seeking you, your soul, not what you have, and not what you can give, and not what you can offer. They should be seeking you. They should be soul preachers and not money preachers. He goes on to say, and I will very gladly, look what he says, I will very gladly be spend and be spent for you. Though that more abundantly I love you, the less I be loved. But Paul was willing to give it all for them. Then in 2 Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, let's go there and take a look at that. 1 Corinthians 10. We're going to look at 33. 1 Corinthians 10 and 33 says, Even as I please all men in all things, not seeking mine own profit, but the profit of many, that they may be saved. Paul was not looking for the profit for himself. He was looking for the profit of others, not himself. Paul was not self-centered. He was not thinking about himself. He was always thinking about the church. Even when he was stoned and beat, and various things happened to him, beat with 195 stripes, he was always thinking about the saints and not about himself, not what he could profit But people today are thinking about what can I get and how they can profit. But Paul was always concerned as to how the church could profit. This is Pastor Coble of the New Hope Apostolic Church, located in the city Alfonso Coble at sbcglobal.net.